Hello, friends, and welcome to today's episode of Booked. I'm your host, Saffron Asteria, and I'm joined today by Michael Vadney. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. I was definitely jamming out to the song on the intro. We were talking a little bit before the live stream started, but
Mhm.
I absolutely love the music for your show.
So do I. It gets stuck in my head all the fucking time,
Mhm,
like all the time. It's so catchy. Again, I'm
mhm.
going to shout out my nephew for that, who has said that he doesn't want me to associate him with the intro because it doesn't fit his branding. I think is what he said, something like that. Anyway, he's moved in a different way, in a different direction as a musician. So this may be the only
Well, he
time
did
that we'll
great.
hear this style of thing. But he'll do great. Yeah.
You'll have to keep it
Um,
eternally then.
yeah, exactly. I can't ever change it now. It's like a relic.
Yeah, yeah. It's a one of one.
Exactly. So, we're here to celebrate your upcoming debut novel, Crownfall, which comes out tomorrow. Look at that. You're already prepared. Fabulous.
It's
So,
like I know what I'm doing.
oh yeah. I mean, you should do after doing this humongous virtual press tour you've been doing.
Thank you.
Um, so let's start off talking about that. How's it gone? How many shows did you do? You did like 5,000, I think.
It is a lot, and honestly, it's going really good. I am constantly surprised by just how much support and interest I've been getting like every day. The reviews have been coming in from like art
Nice.
copies and stuff. It's
Mm,
just it's it's so heartwarming every day
mm.
that I wake up and I'm like, oh, there's new news and everything, and I'm very excited about it all. Yeah, this tour has been going on for 2 months. This is my last interview of the tour, actually.
Lucky me.
So we're starting with the crown jewel or ending with the crown jewel. And then tomorrow I just have a release party where I'll just be hanging out online.
That's awesome. So, where can people watch the release party or join in?
That is going to be on FanFi Addict's YouTube channel, but it will
Great.
also be co-streamed on my own YouTube channel on Author Adjacent.
Amazing. So I'll make sure to put the links for those in the description of this episode once we're done so that people can go watch that. So if you're watching this live now or if you're watching the recording, you can go and watch the live stream for the release party. So go do that because
It's going to
we
be
need
a
to be
good time.
celebrating these things. So you have done like a ton of interviews, you've done Q&As. I was going to write a list of like all the shows that you've done and I ran out of steam because you've been doing it like multiple times a week.
Yeah.
Have you found that you've run out of anything to say, or does it feel fresh every time you do something?
There are definitely some questions that I'll get in repeated on different interviews because they're different audiences. So just because
Yeah,
I answered a question over here doesn't mean people at this show have heard me say that.
yeah.
But I often find that as I'm asked these questions, some of them repeatedly, my answers get better because I've answered these questions before.
Mm,
So it kind of feels like I'm repeatedly taking a test. And
mm,
just every time I take the test, my score gets a little higher. My answers get a little more concise and less rambly and a little more accurate. It's nice practice.
that's good, and it must absolutely boost your confidence with your work as well because you're the whole point of like doing interviews and doing Q&As and things like that, especially on something like a book tour.
Mhm.
Your job really is to tell everyone how great your book is and they should read it. So
Yeah.
I am a great believer, and if you keep saying things over and over again, eventually you'll believe it, and you're gonna love your book anyway. But it's definitely,
Mhm.
I'm sure it's going to increase confidence.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a fake it till you make it kind of stuff. I'm a firm believer in that.
Mhm,
Like you don't need a bunch of confidence to go up and talk about your book, but you do need to talk about your book
mhm,
and kind of fake it. And it does eventually become true
mhm,
because the only thing that really makes you feel confident is I don't believe it's words of affirmation or anything like that. Like it's just stacking a pile of evidence that goes, this is irrefutable proof that
mhm,
I am awesome or I am good at this or I
mhm,
am kind or I am this. It's because you do things that make it irrefutable.
mhm. I totally agree. We do have some people that have joined us in the chat, and I would like to say hi while they're here, in case they have to dip out for any reason. So we have Sarah Arnu, who is creeping in the wardrobes. I don't know how she's managing to be in two places at once.
I'm suspicious.
Maybe we're in the same house and we don't even know. Who knows? We're not, but Twilight Zone maybe. I don't know. We also have El Montague, who
Hey, Ed.
should be working. Apparently, you need to be as well. Is he your boss?
He is not my boss.
Okay. It doesn't matter then. Oh my goodness. And we have Intentional Ventures. Hang on. This one is a compliment. Crownfall is great and people should read it. I'm assuming this is the book you're talking about because we haven't mentioned anything else. But
she's incredibly biased.
Is that somebody that you know?
Yes, that is my editor and my wife.
Well, I'm so glad, editor and wife. I'm not going to out your name because I don't want to creep into boundary issues. But yes, well done on the extra marketing in the chat. I like it. Awesome. So I have a lot of questions for you, and if any of them, if you have answered them a bajillion times, ask me to ask you a different one.
No,
if you get bored. Okay. I don't mind. So I'd love to know when you started writing. So you can go with fictional, or if you used to write nonfiction stuff, then whatever history you want to share with me.
Yeah, I've definitely have always had the writing bug. Like many writers, I thought about it for many years before I actually fully committed to writing a story. There are many stories that I started writing, many short stories and novels that kind of got to a certain point, usually with way too much world building, and then kind of just fizzled out because I didn't have the discipline. I didn't really have the personal identity of I am an author and I'm going to do this. It was just something that I did for fun. And a lot of that kind of falls to the wayside as you're trying to get an education, trying to figure out how to become an adult and a responsible person and not mess up everything in your life. And it wasn't until I was approaching my 30s that I started going, okay, this is actually something I want. I've always thought about it. I've taken care of all this other stuff. So I now have space in my life to really dedicate myself to making this happen, to making this dream come true. And now I'm here with the dream in my hand. I picked up the notebook at the same time. Don't mind me. That's just a notebook of me practicing my signatures because I've never had to officially do a signature for showcasing. So I'm like, I got to figure out what my style is. But yeah,
you're not the only one.
Yeah.
It's okay.
There's no way nobody doesn't practice their signature. It's like, have you ever watched Dr. Horrible Sing-Along blog? First of all, do so. It's amazingly funny. It's got Neil Patrick Harris. It's got Nathan Fillion in it. It's got Felicia Day. And it's this musical from the perspective of the villain of the show. And he talks about, you got to practice your evil laugh. Everybody's practicing it. Same with your signature. Like all authors, I'm sure, are practicing it. But back to the original question. Little side tangent. Yeah, I finally decided that I had room in my life to make it happen. And my wife encouraged me to go join this writing group that came up on meetup.com. And from there, the rest was kind of just history. And I just eventually wrote Crownfall and was very happy with it.
That's awesome. So how long were you working on Crownfall before, like, today?
Well, I started roughly 5 years ago, but I didn't start it seriously until 2 years ago. Because 5 years ago, I was like, yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to write the book. And I started writing the book. But then life happened. I didn't have the discipline. And I took sometimes 8 or 9 months, multiple times, of just not writing a single thing. And then 2 years ago, I was like, no, I actually do want this. I can't really achieve this unless I do it. No one's going to write the book but me.
Yeah. This is so true. So, I mean, 2 years of taking it seriously is actually a very fast turnaround. If you think about like the trajectory that a lot of people have, even 5 years is not that long. So, and you've been like, I've seen you everywhere. You've been doing this right. This is something I wanted to compliment you on, is that I don't think I could get away with not knowing about your book, which is the right thing to do.
I appreciate that.
Because if you don't tell people, they're not going to know it exists. Like whether you're indie, trad, whatever, we're not going to put a particular label on it. If you're an author that wants people to see your book, you have to be everywhere all the time and do it, like putting in the work and the time. and you're doing a lot of different things. And I think that was a very smart move. So if anybody wants to study in what to do when you release your first book, I think Michael is a very good example of that.
I appreciate that.
Oh,
I definitely did not come up with all this stuff on my own. It's everything that I've really done on this tour is just I looked at what other people did and I was like, you know what, I can try that. And a big role model for both just as a mentor to me personally and for this tour specifically is Adrian M. Gibson. When he released Mushroom Blues, he did an even bigger and longer tour, and I talked to him a lot about it. And when I was planning mine, he was like, just look at my tour schedule, pick the shows that you want to do and reach out to them. It doesn't matter if you have a relationship with them or not. You can always just send them an email just saying, hey, I'm Michael Vadney. This is my book. I would like to do a digital tour and I would like you to be a part of it. And the responses in general were very positive. That's not cool. A single person said like, no, I hate you. Why would you ever do this? The worst thing that happened is I didn't get a response. And that's just because people are busy. We're doing this all as a secondary job for the most of the part.
This is true. And it's always worth reaching out to people. Like I found in the last like 2 months, I decided that I don't care if I embarrass myself, which isn't something that I really thought I was thinking about before. And I decided I was just going to ask people stuff. I was going to be like, hey, can you come on my show? And like, oh, I'd love to interview you, things like that. And I've managed to get interviews with like an authors that I actually like admire, and not that I don't admire everybody that I interview, but what I'm saying is like people that I thought would never respond to me is what I meant to. That's what I'm trying to get at. And it's simply, I think, because people appreciate like genuine human contact. That's a big thing, because I'm every freaking day I get emails from marketing companies asking if I can interview authors that they have on their books all the time. And I'm like, sometimes I don't even spell my name right. And it's there on the screen, and that really bothers me.
It's just the shotgun approach. Like definitely when you are reaching out to people, put in the effort to know who you're reaching out to. Just being like, hello, so-and-so. Be a genuine person. Don't just copy paste. Yeah,
absolutely. And we all know what marketing sort of scammy things to look out for. It's the first like line will be the thing whether people decide if you're a human or not, which is really sad. We've had John Douglas join us, and you're so right. That is a man with a book, and that book is Crownfall. So if you want to pre-order now, or if you're watching the recording from the 28th, you can just buy it. It's right there. And there's also a link in the description, and it goes straight to the book section. So I've made it very easy for you. So go buy it.
You got this.
I wasn't specifically talking to you, John. I was just using that as a segue to put the QR code up.
No, I'm talking to him now, John. John, do it.
And I think this is a really good tactic, Sarah. Just email places telling them that you are Michael Vadney.
We'll open doors, I'm telling you.
Yes, totally agree. Don't have AI write your outreach email. Just we're writers. We need to be able to communicate with one another.
It's like we specialize it.
Yeah. Although I know some people are like, oh, I just wrote a whole book. You want me to write an email as well? I know it's a struggle bus, but anyway.
It can be frustrating, I'm sure.
Yeah. So for those that are watching that don't know what this book is about, could you give us a bit of an overview?
Definitely. Cool. So actually, it's very convenient since we can see the cover right there. Crownfall is about a thief, a noble lady, and a magical engineer as they are slowly radicalized against the viceroy of their nation. And that's my like real quick pitch of it. It's got a lot of cool stuff in it. If you like political intrigue, you got it. If you like action, it's in there. And if you like moral quandaries as a character who has been burned as far as his beliefs go, and he's trying to find out, how do I maintain a belief system when I don't have the strength to defend it? That's in there too. But ultimately what Crownfall is about is trust. Like trusting in yourself, trusting in each other, and becoming trustworthy. I just love it. There's so many cool things in it.
Oh, it makes me so happy when people are excited to share their work.
It's been a blast.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it. You are very enthusiastic about your work, and it's clear that you loved writing it. And that I find that always comes across on the page when people have fun with the thing they're writing. It's always very obvious. So you noted some of these features that you have in the book. Did you set out to include those on purpose, or did that unravel with the storytelling?
Some of it was there from the very beginning,
Mhm.
but my theme of hitting these different aspects of trust definitely emerged somewhere between drafts 3 and 4,
Okay.
where I was writing the book and I was in my writing group, and one of the other authors in the group turned to me and said, like, "Hey, have you thought about what your theme of your story was?" And I was like, I have no idea. And I know there's a lot of people who never even think about theme when they're writing stories. And there's other people who start out very intentionally with, I'm going to write a story about trust. I'm going to write a story about the economical ramifications of doing this or that. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people start their story that way, but a lot of us also kind of just find it along the way and go, oh, that's neat. Let's lean into that. And that's kind of what happened with my theme. But from the
Yeah.
very beginning, I knew I wanted a thief. I knew I wanted a noble lady who was kind of a take charge, kind of ruthless in that she's going to do what she needs to do to save the people that she needs to save and
Mhm.
uplift her family from financial destitution. And the third character, my magical engineer, he changed a lot. He was originally a older kind of like religious Templar kind of character. I eventually made him a little closer in age to the other two and made him a magical engineer instead.
Cool. So, who would you say this book is for? Like, if you could identify a group of readers, or maybe it spans across different types of readers.
Yeah, I definitely shot wide on this one.
Mhm.
I consider it a new adult fantasy, which
Mhm.
means like if you are in your late teens, you can really appreciate this. But if you're into your 30s and 40s, you can definitely appreciate this.
Okay.
So really, I'm hitting the Brandon Sanderson fans. If you like things like that, but you're like, you know what, this could be a little darker,
Mhm.
that's probably going to be this book's for you.
Cool. So this is going to be a really hard question to answer, I'm sure.
I'll try my
But
best.
what what do you think that readers are going to love the most about your story? Because I'm sure you're going to have things that you really love, but from the
Mhm.
perspective of someone that doesn't know anything about the backstory.
I think there's a few different things, and I'm going to cheat a little bit because reviews have been coming in already,
Go
and so
for
I can pluck a little
it.
bit from
Please do.
those. And the trends that I'm finding is, for one, everyone's favorite character is Amara, my noble lady there in the front and center on the cover. Everybody loves her. I haven't had a single person be like, this is my least favorite character. She's a badass. I love her.
Awesome.
Uh, Besides that, I think what a lot of people are also finding is they really like the mix of magic and technology
Mhm.
pulled out of the medieval era. This isn't a stereotypical medieval fantasy. The technological equivalent would be like the early 1700s for us here. We
Okay.
have things equivalent to electricity and equivalent to technology that makes boats go faster and heating elements and lighting and all these other things, but
Mhm.
it's all powered by magic.
Cool.
A lot of people would call it like arcane punk.
Mhm.
Actually, Arcane, the Netflix series, was one of the inspirations for the world building for this.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, it pulls a lot of elements from a lot of stories that I like, where I'm just like, ooh, I like this from this story. I like this from this story. I like
Mhm.
this over here, and kind of just mashed it together with my own blend.
So how do you manage that without treading on the sort of difficulties of direct copying?
Yeah. Well, that is something you definitely have to think about. You don't want to do it just one for one because that
Mhm.
doesn't work. Really, though, you don't need to change as much as you think you do. If
Okay.
you look at a lot of stories, many of them are telling the same story, either through a different setting or a different lens. And there's about like a 20% difference
Mm.
between the thing that they are inspired by and the thing that they are telling.
Mm.
If you look at the Lycanius trilogy by James Islington, and you have read The Wheel of Time, you can see so much of a direct inspiration between how that trilogy plans out and how the Wheel of Time goes. And you can do that with a lot of other books as well. What's important is you need to change it enough that it feels like your own unique thing. And it's okay to be inspired by a lot of different things, because in general, readers do like to reread similar vibes, similar stories. I know there's a lot of people out there that's like, no, not me. I love horror and I love cozy fantasy and I love all these things and romance all combined together. And it's like, that's great. But most people, I will definitely say, continuously reward sticking to like genre standards and sticking to a very similar story.
Cool. So you are self-publishing this book.
I am.
Which is awesome, and tons of hard work. Did you decide from the get-go that you were going to go down the self-publishing route, or was that something you decided later on?
No, I definitely decided it later on. Initially, my plan was I was going to query it for a year.
Okay.
I was going to see what happened, and then if that didn't work out, I would do the self-publishing route. And as I got more and more into the writing community and met more indie authors, I was eventually convinced to just jump the ship directly to indie so that I could just try to do it myself and see what happened. And I've had some people actually comment on that they were very surprised that this was an indie book, because it's very polished. It does have a lot of trappings that feel very traditional. It's very traditional in the type of fantasy that it is. And it would have done well in a traditional publishing market, I think. But I wanted to do it myself. I wanted to get the cover that I got. Katarina did an amazing job, and Adrian M. Gibson did an amazing job on the design and the art. And I just wanted the creative control to do whatever I want with it. Will I eventually go traditional? I might try it. I might try to just go hybrid and have some that are indie and some are trad and see what happens. I am open to many options for the future.
That's cool. I've definitely heard from those who have gone like a hybrid route where they do a bit of indie, bit of trad, that's where they find their most success, because like that might be able to procure a livable amount of money to do it full time. But I mean, it's not a thing that people could just jump from, like, or have an idea, I'm going to write a book and now I'm a famous author that can just write forever. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's definitely the dream for most writers, is to eventually get to that point where you can just say screw it to the day job and just write books and talk about stories.
Would that be your dream if you could do it?
Oh, heck yeah. But that would be really nice to be able to get there. But I'm also very much a realist of, hey, I'm just going to keep doing this for a while because I enjoy it. And we'll see what happens. If that happens, great. If not, I'm going to enjoy just the journey.
Well, you never know who's going to be knocking on your own box.
Exactly.
That wasn't a euphemism. It sounded like it. As it came out of my mouth, I thought that's a very weird turn of phrase, but here we go.
It's all right. I've said worse.
We have Tyler. Apparently you look like you could give some good financial advice.
Is it the t-shirt?
It might be the, you definitely work in tech. I did check your website. I did check your website and I was like, yeah, software.
I do.
How long have you been working in the tech world?
Wow. I think I started in the early 2020s. I originally got my undergraduate degree in broadcast communications and then did absolutely nothing with it.
Now you are.
Oh, yeah. I finally started using it when I got author adjacent, but that was like 10 years after graduating. And after college, I bounced around to a lot of different jobs. I did computer repair. I worked in factories. I was a bartender and a cook. Just anything that I could think of to kind of discover what did I want to do with my life to support myself financially. And eventually my wife was doing an online master's degree in computer science, and I was watching over her shoulder and I was like, I could do something like that. And eventually now we're both software engineers.
That is sick. What a power couple.
We try.
That is very cool. Yeah. You've been called out, I'm afraid.
Oh, no. Yeah, she does all the finest. Like, I do not have a good head for that stuff. Like, thank you for telling me I have the look, but he is a guru that I will never master.
I mean, you already said fake it to make it, so
That is true. I'll lose a lot of money while I'm faking it, though. So
depends if it's your money or somebody else's money, I suppose.
also scary, and no matter what happens.
So going back to your virtual press tour, so you've done lots of different types of shows and lots of different forms of media. Do you have like a favorite type of thing to do as like an author trying to talk about their book?
Yeah, well, the interviews are really fun. I do like doing this because it's just fun to talk about books and fun to talk about stories. And it's really just a 2-in-1 where I get to do something that's really fun and I get to kind of promote my book at the same time. Another one that I really liked doing was on fanfiaddict.com. I did a guest article about the rise of noble dark fantasy. And that was just really fun to write that article and kind of talk about this particular niche genre of fantasy and like, what is it? Where did it come from? Why is it important? And it was just really fun to design that. And besides that, it's just been generally talking to people. There's been a lot of like ad hoc events that I've kind of jumped into my lap as I've been doing this. I originally planned the tour to be, I think, 20 stops. And now I'm upwards to like 25 plus because I just randomly jumped on things where someone was like, hey, I'm doing this thing. Can someone come on here and talk to me about it? I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Like Michael Melwassel, he just had a Kickstarter that ended, I think today or yesterday. He was doing a live stream when he kicked it off. And he's like, hey, I just want people to come on and talk about the book. And I had read his book and reviewed it. I really liked it. So I hopped in there and we just chatted for 30 minutes. And just these random little moments of opportunity just kept popping up. And they're like, oh, this is delightful.
That's really cool. Oh, that's nice. It's definitely seeing like clips from shows and things like that where you've been on, and I haven't been able to catch many of them because they're life. But you definitely seem like you're having fun all the time. Are you naturally quite a positive person, or are you a very good actor?
It's a little both. Okay. So it kind of goes back to the fake it till you make it thing, because very naturally I can be kind of pessimistic and very like, oh, it won't work out. But I've kind of built up the skills in the past few years to kind of be like, no, just have a good attitude about it. It doesn't matter if you believe in the thing, just fake that you believe in the thing until you internalize that and you build up that evidence. And writing this book was definitely that, where there's so much self-doubt, there's so much imposter syndrome that everybody deals with when it comes to writing their stories. But you just have to keep going. You just have to keep doing it. And I've kind of just adopted this philosophy of it doesn't matter what happens with the writing, whether my books are financially successful or not. I'm going to keep doing it until I can do this on my own. And either one of two things are going to happen. I'm going to find success and I get to keep doing it, and that's my reward, or I'm going to die and I don't care because I'm dead.
There was that.
So it's just an adoption of a lot of these positive attitudes and just trying not to get discouraged by things.
I think that's the key, isn't it? It's sometimes you just have to talk yourself into being successful, and it's not that easy. Obviously, there are other elements to the whole thing, but
yeah. This is an attitude that is years in the making. I didn't just open a door one day and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be a positive guy. It took me a long time to really get to where I am at as a person and my attitude towards things. And a lot of that has to do because I started writing a book and I started following my dreams, and I found that I had the ability to make them real. And I think a lot of us are really in our heads before we start trying to do that, about like, oh, that's an impossible thing. While it's in my head, it's this perfect gem of an idea that you romanticize for years and years and years. And then when you finally start doing it and you start actually looking for that thing that you want to be or that thing that you want to do and start pursuing it, it's scary.
Yeah.
And that can turn people away from it because there's always the chance that you might not succeed. But then if you make it about just the act of doing it, the act of writing stories, then you're already successful, because all you have to do is things that are 100% in your control, and the other stuff will come, or it won't, and you'll die, and it'll be okay.
So I think Trinity popped in at just the right time, because it is a positive mindset. Like, something my dad has always taught me is, like, whenever I worry about things, he says, well, can you do anything to change it? And if it's a no, then he's like, what a waste of energy.
Yeah.
And I try and, it's not, sometimes I do fall foul to it, but yeah.
It's okay to grieve and mourn over things that you don't have control over, but you just can't wallow in it, like, because all you're doing is suffering twice about something you can't really do anything about it.
Literally, it's like you're possessed by my dad, because that's almost word for word what he tells me.
I did not come up with these, I promise. It's just a lot of reading and a lot of trying to improve my own disposition on the world.
Yeah.
Very intentionally.
Yeah, easier said than done, because...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The hellscape. Yeah. But yeah. There is a good segue here, because I was going to ask you about your cover. So Sarah said fantasy books always have the coolest cover, and this one is fantastic. Agree. It is fantastic. I'm going to see if I can make it even bigger. Bear with me. I don't know what my options are. Is this larger? It's the same fucking size.
It's the same size.
That's the same size. It's just in the center.
That's a little bit bigger.
Let's focus on this cover.
Okay. Feast your eyes.
So when you had this artwork done, how many iterations were there? Did you know what you wanted it to be before you sent it off to your artist? Tell us a bit about the history.
Yeah, so I think I got about 6 or 7 different passes of it from the artist, who is Katerina Belikova. You can find her as Ninja Joe on Instagram. Her art is fantastic. She mostly does like sci-fi and album covers and video game art and stuff, but she will do fantasy stuff as well. And I had gotten connected to her through Adrian M. Gibson. Again, you're noticing a trend here. And I sent her a document after we had decided that we were going to work together. I sent her a document. It was just a Google Doc of like what I was looking for in a cover. And the very first iteration was just, I typed Crownfall at the top, Michael Vadney at the bottom, and I found clip art of 3 characters that were roughly in the position I was looking for, and put them on the cover in about that size. And then from there, underneath it, I just went into detail about, these are covers. I took snapshots of other books that I really loved and my favorite covers and the art style that I was really looking for. And I put them in there, said why I liked them, what I liked about them. And then underneath that, I just went into detailed descriptions with text and example pictures of what each of the characters looked like, about what Amara looks like, what Kindell on the right looks like, and Gellert on the left. Just between their hair, their clothes, what I want them to be doing. And she took all of that information, a pretty big document because I definitely over prepared on it, and she just started going for it. And she would send me iterations of it. It's like, hey, this is the positioning and size that I'm looking for. And we adjusted them a little bit. I think Amara was holding a different pose in the initial where she was doing something like this. And we just kept going through it. And after those first few passes, every time she came back with more art, I was like, this is amazing. I love it. No notes. Please continue. I can't wait to see the end. And then by the time we got to the last version of it, I sent it off to Adrian, who I had do the interior and the exterior design. So he did all of like the font on the inside and the outside, and the layout on the inside and the outside. And it was just really good. He absolutely nailed it.
Wow. That's very cool.
I do think
I do think that the design of a book, whether it's the front cover, the interior, the layout, the font choice, all these things are so incredibly important for creating a premium experience. I think I understand that there are sometimes financial barriers. So This isn't me saying that, everybody needs to spend thousands of dollars on books or whatever, but it really makes a huge difference if you pick artists that you trust, that can create the vision that you have, and give your readers, like, make it worth their time and money. Because if we're expecting people to spend $20 on a book, and I don't know, 10 hours, 60, I don't know how long it takes people to read big books, but like 10, 16 hours on a book with with their precious time, it's got to be good.
Yeah.
It's got to be good.
Yeah,
make sure you spend the time editing it. Make sure you spend the time making sure the cover is exactly the way you want it to be. And even if that means, waiting a bit longer, then maybe that's the right choice. But sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes people like, I just want to put whatever cover I can get hold of on there. I'm going to use Canva or whatever and get it out there. Some people are happy with that, and I'm happy for them, and that's great. Yeah. But this is such an eye-catching cover.
Thank you.
That it's going to do you a massive service, along with obviously all the press you've been doing. But like, even if you just
that's the hope.
Well, yeah, it makes a huge difference. There are so many authors I talk to that have like really punchy covers like this, that they say, the cover really carries me. Especially
it has to. Like, yeah. I think something a lot of people don't really understand, or they don't really want to accept, is that your story is going to sell less on the words in the story and more on the packaging and how it looks, because you have to convince people to pick it up without you being there.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem. So like 90% of your sales are going to happen because they saw it either as this big on Amazon or whatever website, or this big on a bookshelf, and they went, I got to take a look at that. So it has to be a good cover. I'm not saying it has to be an expensive cover. Yeah. You can get a good cover for $100. It's not going to be custom art cover that's like this kind of style or anything, but you can get a cover that will convey your genre, tell someone the kind of vibe of what your story is about, and get eyes on it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options.
Yeah. And absolutely, like, let's not pretend that, we'll just read anything. I mean, I'm in a different circumstance because I talk to people and I'm like, what's your book about? And it's more of a conversational thing, and I don't really look at the cover. But if I'm in a bookstore, or if I'm looking on a website, then the one that catches my eye is going to be the one that I look at. I'm not always going to look at the ones that, especially, you made a really good point, making sure the cover fits the genre, because that's something a lot of people don't do. Which I think is a massive disservice to, what's that? I don't know what I'm doing.
This is a new arrangement.
We're figuring it out.
Welcome to our final form.
It's like we are like a big transformer. Or maybe like the Power Rangers when they all transform into that big thing.
Like a Zoid.
Yes.
No, Power Rangers do it too. You're right.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah. Either way, this is what we're doing now. I'm not changing it.
But no, you're right. It's just, if you don't know what you're doing with your covers, one of the best things that you can do is look at other books that are similar to yours within your genre and see what other people are doing. Like I was saying earlier, there's so much about books that readers reward sticking to genre conventions. I know we all like to tout out, like, this is the newest, best thing. It's super unique and it's really good. Yes, we definitely love that. But not everything is going to be unique. That's going to be the outlier. Like Matt Dinniman with Dungeon Crawler Carl. Huge fan. It is very different. Yeah, I see it. It is very different than a lot of other lit RPGs out there. And it has done a lot of great things for lit RPG, for like putting it on the map in the mainstream and stuff like that. But he also does the genre conventions really well and then builds on top of that. Readers just reward that stuff. And I just think it's something that a lot of authors don't really think about, the business side of the story that they are writing.
Yeah.
And it's hurting them.
I think you're right. And this only really applies to people that actually care about that kind of thing. Like, if you don't care about that kind of thing and you just care about writing your book and getting it out there, then none of what either of us have said really fucking matters. It doesn't, because there's no one way to do a thing. But if you are thinking about like commercial viability, you have to think about those things. They're super duper important, and it's definitely something that gets left by the wayside. And then I see people, it makes me sad, going, why does no one want to read my book? I want to be able to sell hundreds and hundreds of copies. I'm like, you need to play the game, I'm afraid.
That's a good way to put it, is you have to play the game.
You do have to play the game. It's the same as anything in life. If you want to make loads of money, like the easiest route is to do what everybody else is doing with it.
Yeah.
You know, find what works and then copy paste that thing, or be so different, but take your chances, and then maybe people will notice it. But yeah, no. There's no one right answer or one right choice, but
100%.
Yeah.
Like, you have a lot of options for publishing. You can go traditional publishing, you can go indie publishing, or you can go with serialized publishing. A lot of people have found success through that as well. Speaking of Matt Dinneman and Lit RPGs, that's a huge route for people that come up in that way. Even Andy Weir, when he wrote The Martian, that was originally a self-published serialized story that he was just giving out for free, chapter by chapter.
Interesting.
And then he got a reader base, and they reached out to him and they were like, hey, we would like to buy this book if you would put it together into a single thing instead of all these chapters across the internet. And he went, okay. And he did, and people read it, and then more people read it. I know that is a unicorn case. Not all of us are going to be Andy Weir here. But the point is, you have a lot of options for publishing and roads to success.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think as long as people are doing what they want to do and they're happy with the thing they're doing, then they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's really what matters, is like, are you content with what you are doing?
Yeah.
And if you are, great. Double down on that. Have fun.
Definitely. Went off on a massive tangent, but I think that was important.
Life lessons.
Long and the short of it, the cover's awesome. I don't know if I'm pointing in the right direction or not, but
I think we are.
I think so.
It looks right to me.
Yeah, me too. If it's not, then look, there's obviously a book cover on the screen. You know, we're pointing at that.
Let us know, chat.
So, what have been your favorite and least favorite parts of the experience of marketing this first book?
Oh, marketing it. I would say the forms. The least favorite thing about like marketing it is trying to get like the keywords right and putting them into Amazon and making sure that the right things are happening with the genre. I'm going to go on a tiny rant for a second.
Please do.
I have a little beef with Amazon's genres at the moment that I'm kind of upset about, because for those of you that don't know, when you are putting your book into Amazon to be sold on KDP and stuff like that, it gives you 3 genres that you can put your book into. And I was trying to do dark fantasy, epic fantasy, and I can't remember what the third one was. Oh, adventure fantasy.
Okay.
Something like that, action adventure fantasy. And 2 of those stuck, and they're just fine. Because you choose like the major category of fantasy and sci-fi, and then fantasy, and then epic fantasy. But for some reason, every time I go fantasy and sci-fi, fantasy, and then dark fantasy, I'll set it, I'll be happy, and then I'll come back, and for some reason I'm under dark fantasy but horror, and I'm like, how did we get under horror? This is not what I'm selecting. That's probably been the most frustrating part of this whole thing.
Okay, so we can blame Bezos.
How dare you?
I mean, he's obviously watching this, so
clearly
sort it out, mate.
We are very important.
I think we are. I think everybody's important, really. Just depends who your audience are, I suppose. Yes, we have an agreement in the chat. It confuses me. I don't even look for genre. I just go and I'll only buy from Amazon if that's the only place I can buy from.
Yeah.
Which is very frequent in the indie sphere because it's like much easier to just direct publish through them. But
it's also your best bet for a lot of people just because of financial reasons.
Oh, for sure. It's super accessible.
Yeah. Like you can go wide and you can host things yourself. That is an option for a lot of people, but it's a lot of work. You have to put up some kind of finances in order to do a lot of the things.
Yeah.
I am very fortunate that I can have my own website and you can buy my books directly from me if you are in the US. But I also have my paperback and hardback on Amazon. And my ebook is going to be exclusively on Kindle Unlimited,
Okay.
mainly just because that has the best outreach, has the best
Mhm.
chance of being seen by the most people
Mhm.
for an author who the world does not know yet.
Mhm.
I'm a ghost otherwise. So this is my best bet. Will I stay there forever? It kind of really just depends on how things go, but
Mhm.
that's definitely how I'm going to start out.
Awesome. I mean, it sounds like a good plan, and I know that you're going to be posting out all the pre-orders for the paperbacks tomorrow, and then the hardcovers in a few days when they arrive.
That's the
Um,
plan.
so it means that you're going to have touched every version of that book in the US, which is an appealing thing for some people, I suppose.
Yeah, it's nice because I also then have the option of like signing them,
Mhm.
which you can get that at my website. And I have so that furniture behind me that you can see right there,
Mhm.
that is half of that is just filled with my paperback inventory. I have a
That's
few up
cool.
top in the row right there, and
Mhm.
the rest is just my paperbacks. And I have a little bit of delay with the hardcovers,
Mhm.
like you were saying, but they should be getting here later this week, and I'll be able to mail those out by this weekend. That's my hope. That's what Ingram Spark has told me I can do.
I've got everything crossed for you. And just for
Thank you.
those who have this on another screen and they want to use their smartphone or whatever, you can scan the QR code and go directly. If you're in the US, you can go order the paperbacks or the hardcovers from here. If you're watching the recording, you can still do that. It just won't be a pre-order; it'll be actually live
An
because the book
immediate
comes
sale.
out tomorrow. So it's the 28th if you're watching this in the future, and also there's a link down there. Again, I've made it very easy for you. So if you like the sound of Crownfall, you should go check it out because Michael's really cool and the book sounds really cool.
Thank you.
And support indie authors and all authors. Read more. I don't know what else to say
Reading is
about
good
that.
for you.
Yeah, it is good for you. I have two last questions that I'd like to ask you.
I'm ready.
Now, I did give you a little warning, so hopefully you've got some answers for these. And just real quick, goodbye, Trinity. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you. So, in terms of being an author, and you've kind of alluded to this answer anyway, but I'm curious to see what like the headline of it is.
All right.
As a writer, what does success look like to you?
I think that is a forever moving goalpost for me.
Mm.
Like at first, success was write a first draft.
Mhm.
Can I finish a story? Can I write a first sentence all the way to the end? Cool. I was able to do that.
Mhm.
Can I do it again? And then
Mm.
can I do it again and again? Can I get it to the point where it can be in a physical form?
Mm.
Was the next goal. Could I get it to be released? And tomorrow I'll be as successful with that. And now after that is just, can I market it? Can I
Mm.
do this again? Can I write another story?
Mm.
Because like I was saying earlier, is so much about this is just trying to be in love with just writing stories, with the process of creating this art.
Mm.
Because when you make that your success, when you make that your goal, everything you have or everything you need to be successful is within arm's reach. It's all you, 100% your effort to do
Mhm.
this. And that's like the easiest way to make sure that everything is within your power and that you can achieve your dreams, not just because there's some whims. Would I love to be financially successful and be able to be financially independent to the point where I can quit my day job and just be a full-time author?
Mhm.
Yes, 100%. I would love that.
Mhm.
But I try not to make that my meter of success and my goal because I have limited control over that.
Yeah.
Yes, I can go on the internet. Yes, I can just talk everybody's ear off about myself and Crownfall. But ultimately, that puts the power in other people's hands to decide whether or not they want to buy their book and therefore give me the success.
Mhm.
So as long as I make success something that I can do, that I have complete control over, the journey of what I am doing, then I'm going to be successful and I'm going to enjoy this no matter what happens. And it's just a lot easier for my mental health to think of it that way.
Yes, I totally agree. And it's it's important to be a realist, but it is important to also not give up on the potential of a dream because
Yeah.
otherwise, what's the point in bothering? Like you've still got to have those goals in mind and still be open to them actually happening to yourself. But as you say, having that as a measure of success is just setting yourself up for potentially failure, and maybe it might make you quit the thing that you actually enjoy doing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say there's a lot of like potential disappointment there.
Yes, I totally agree. And what a lovely compliment. That's so nice. And he's glad that he's here to see it happen. That's very lovely. So when I'm reading about you on some big thing, I can be like, well, you know, I was there at the end of the first ever book tour, so that'll be my little claim to fame.
We'll see if that happens. If it works, if it does, great. But I'm not going to be too worried about it, or at least I'm going to try not to be.
Totally agree. You have to keep moving the finish line or you'll stop running. That's very true, especially if you're, I don't know, trying to do anything. If you're trying to progress anything, you've got to keep setting new standards for yourself all the time. Yeah. We have Mark here who's managed to arrive right at the end, but I appreciate you still coming. Don't forget you can skip back and you can start from the beginning if you want to.
We'll still be there, I swear.
Yeah. So my last question for you is, if you could go back to when you first started writing and you can pick which part of you, whether it's when you were sort of doing it and when you were sort of taking it more seriously, if you could give yourself any advice, what would you give?
I think the biggest thing I would tell myself is that you don't have to be ready, that it will be okay, and that you can figure out so much of it simply just by doing and by failing a lot and learning why you failed and trying not to do that again. Like there's just so much about writing and about creating books that I personally feel like I have to be very prepared for. I have to know what I'm going to do before I'm going into it. I am a big plotter, but I think there's just so much that you can learn simply just by doing, especially about writing your first book.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm super glad that we were able to be a part. I say we, me and the audience and I, we were able to be a part of your press tour. And thank you so much for coming on the show and talking about your awesome new book. And if I haven't said it enough times, I'm going to say it again. The QR code is there. The link is below. If you want to order Crownfall, you bet you can do it from now, basically. It's like less than 24 hours and the book will be like flying out the door. So yeah, I wish you all the success in the world, and I know this is going to do great, and I hope that your launch party, which I'll go and find a link for, I'll put that in the description. So if you're watching the replay, it should be there. I'll do it straight after this, I promise. So I hope that goes really well. And
thank you, Sarah.
Of course. Well, I'm going to say goodbye. And thank you to everybody that joined us, whether you're watching the recording or you watched it live. I love you all. I'll see you later. Goodbye.